Greetings and salutations, everybody. I'm John Campea. Thank you for visiting my movie vlog. And you know, our relationship with the Terminator film franchise is much like trying to carry on a relationship after what should have just been a one-night stand. You know, it starts off really strong, maybe even the second time's even better than the first, but as time goes on, you realize the whole relationship is just sputtering, and by the time you put in the last bit of effort, it just seems kind of pathetic. But what Terminator fans have really been waiting for, the hope they've been clinching onto with both clenched fists, has been that one day, the Messiah, James Cameron, will come back, part the Red Seas, and lead us into a Terminator utopia once again. Well, we might be closer to that day than you might have thought. You see, James Cameron is getting some of the rights of Terminator back here pretty soon, and he recently sat down and he did an interview in which he talked about plans for a possible future trilogy of Terminator films. Here's what he had to say. The question is, has the franchise run its course, or can it be freshened up? So I am in discussions with David Ellison, who is the current rights holder globally for the Terminator franchise, and the rights in the US market revert to me under US copyright law in a year and a half. So he and I are talking about what we can do. Right now, we are leaning towards doing a 3-film arc and reinventing it. And there was joy across the kingdom. I mean, it's exciting, right? James Cameron coming back to direct a whole new set of Terminator films. What more could we ask for? Okay, I'm sorry to be the wet blanket here, but I can't get excited about this. Look, I would be as excited as anybody if I were to find out we were about to get a brand new Terminator film actually directed by James Cameron. But I got a couple of things holding up my enthusiasm. Thing holding up my enthusiasm, number one, is I ain't interested in any Terminator movies that aren't directed directly by James Cameron. I don't care if James Cameron is behind a movie. I want his ass in the director's chair directing it. I've given a lot of my faith before to Terminator properties that didn't have James Cameron actually directing them, and I've been disappointed every single time. Not willing to put up with that again. The second thing holding up my enthusiasm is directly connected to that first thing. You see, we all want James Cameron directing a Terminator film, but there's a little problem by the name of Avatar. James Cameron is currently directing 76 Avatar sequels. Okay, to be specific, he's directing 4, but they're busy films. It seems like it takes an entire lifetime to make just one Avatar film. And he ain't just making one. He's making 4 more. As a matter of fact, the 5th film in the franchise doesn't even come out until 2025. 2025. So if we're all waiting around for James Cameron to actually put his ass in the chair and direct a Terminator film, we're probably waiting 8, 9, or 10 years before it even happens, if it even happens. Now, okay, James Cameron's only 62 years old, and 8 years after the 5th Avatar film comes out, he's only going to be 70. Steven Spielberg is 70 right now. Ridley Scott is 79, for heaven's sakes. He'll still be plenty young to direct some Terminator films if he wants to. But that brings up the third thing that kind of whets my excitement for this, that even if this all happens, and if James Cameron himself directs it after finishing all the Avatar films, we're talking about having to wait 10 years for a Terminator film being directed by James Cameron. Look, I'm not saying it's not worth the wait. I'm just saying it's tough for me to get too excited about something that's not happening for at least 10 years. And sure, James Cameron can say he's planning on doing more Terminator films, but every Hollywood producer is planning on 1,000 things that never actually come about. So we don't even know if this is going to happen. And if it happens, will Cameron actually direct? And if he directs, do we still have to wait actually 10 years before the damn thing comes out in theaters? But the real question here is, what do you think about this? Would you be okay with new Terminator films if James Cameron was just like a producer and didn't actually direct it himself? Or are you just as happy to wait for 10 years for James Cameron to actually get in the director's chair and direct them? Or are you just happy to see new Terminator films regardless one way or the other? Jump into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. And listen, while you're here, take a second and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you're following me on social media, on Twitter and Facebook, simply @John Campea. That'll do it for me, guys. And until next time, bye-bye.